We are talking about kindness this month, and we've already gone over things that we can do for people. Last month, we talked about what we can do for people that is kind. But the other thing we can do is look at like real life examples of people that are kind, or we can talk about vocabulary, or we could read a story about being kind. I have a story here. It's called Kindness is My Superpower. There's also Be Kind, a story about things that matter. Maybe we should do this one. All right.
Sure.
And then I'll make sure that you guys can hear my sound. And then, or actually I could just do no sound and I could just read it myself. Then way you can hear my voice instead of the other person's. So let's, and I know sometimes they say you shouldn't use other people's stories, but if it's a short one, maybe just to talk about it, I think that's okay. Let's find out.
Is to make college easier because students have
Okay. So I'll read this story to you guys. Okay, she is going to read a story about being kind, and we're just going to start and talk about it. It's kind of cute. She's holding an umbrella over someone's head. So then that way they can have, get less rained on, right? That's always a nice thing to do. If you go outside and you see an umbrella, you see rain outside, and then you have an umbrella in your hand and someone else needs it, that's always a good thing. All right. Be kind. To two of the kindest people I know, my sister, Pam Wells, and my friend, Ellen Lawrence. Tanisha spilled grape juice yesterday, all over her new dress. Everyone laughed. I almost did too, but Mom always tells me to be kind, so I tried. Maybe she didn't laugh as hard. I don't think it worked. I said, purple is my favorite color. I thought it would make Tanisha smile, but she ran into the hall instead. When she came back, snack time was over. She put on her art smock and didn't look at anybody or anyone. She was very sad. I almost told Tanisha that art was my favorite class, but I didn't want her to leave again. So I painted purple splotches, like spots, and added some green until I had a bunch of beautiful violets. While I painted, I thought about Tanisha. Should I have handed her my napkin, let her borrow my sweatshirt, spilled my juice so everyone stared at me instead? Those are all interesting choices. What does it mean to be kind anyway?
You asking me?
No, it's in the book. Do you see it?
Just image is getting blurred. So let me, yes,
Oh.
continue.
Maybe it's giving. Making cookies for Mr. Rinaldi, who lives alone. Letting somebody with smaller feet have my too tight shoes. He might win races in them too. Putting dirty dishes in the sink. Cleaning up after Otis, our class guinea pig. He's a messy eater. Maybe it's paying attention. Telling Desmond I like his blue boots. Asking the new girl to be my partner. Listening to Aunt Franny's funny stories, even the ones I've heard before. You know how old people like to talk and talk and talk, and usually they tell the same stories over and over again. But you listen and you're paying attention. Being kind should be easy, like throwing away a wrapper or recycling a bottle or saying thank you and bless you. My mom says the quickest way to be kind is to use people's names. Hey, Carla. What's new, Omar? Good afternoon, Rabbi Mendelbaum. These are interesting names. But being kind can be hard too. Even when you know what to do, teaching someone something I'm good at is tricky sometimes. Even when I'm patient. Yes, as a teacher, I have to be very patient. And sticking up for someone when other kids aren't kind is really hard and really scary sometimes. To stand up to a bully, that's not easy. Maybe I can't solve Tanisha's grape juice problem. Maybe all I can do is sit by her in art class and paint this picture for her because I know she likes purple too. Maybe I can only do small things, but my small things might join small things other people do. Like, you left your yarn in the bus, come get it. But together they could grow into something big. She can use that yarn to make something warm for someone else. Something really big, so big that all our kindnesses spill out of our school into the consignment store where you sell people's clothing for cheap, post office, animal shelter, or you could travel across the country and you could meet a veteran. Welcome home. Thank you for your service. And go all the way around the world. So all these acts of kindness could add up into something really big. Right back to Tanisha and me, so we can be kind again and again. And again. And then she puts up the picture of the flowers. So cute. All right, Be Kind by Pat Zietlow Miller. All right, we're gonna stop sharing and now we can talk about this.
Sure.
Okay, so what are the ways that she was kind? It didn't talk a lot about like a list of things to do. This talked about one particular situation and how somebody felt because they were made fun of or they did something wrong and then they were made fun of. So this girl is trying to decide what to do to be kind to her friend. And that is, it's easy to look at a list and say, oh yeah, I could do this, this, or this. But when you're in this situation and you say, oh my gosh, this person, something just happened to them. What should I do? This is the thought process we need to think about. How can you be kind to someone? I mean, especially in a more serious situation, like somebody's father just died. You can't go up to them and say, oh, everything will be okay, don't worry. Because it won't, right?
Yes.
You
That
have to
will not
be,
work out.
you have to understand what they're going through and their grief and their pain. And if you say everything's going to be all right, they're going to say, no, it's not. And so you're not helping them by saying that. So all you can really say to somebody that's in pain like that is, I'm so sorry to hear that. And give them a hug.
Yeah, that's the best, I think, giving them a hug.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then they want to cry, so it's a best way to let them cry.
Yeah. Yeah. So is something smaller? That's okay.
Yes.
Think of something. Abu, what do you think?
Yes, or you can pray for his soul to stay in peace.
Yeah, you can. You can pray. You know, hopefully he goes up there, you know, and he's in a peaceful place. That's what we hope. Asma, what do you think? What can we do when somebody is hurting and we want to help them?
By giving them a hug and let them cry over our shoulder and try to help them by giving them some money to help them to make ends meet,
That's true.
or if they
Or
are,
make a meal.
make a meal, maybe help
Yeah.
them with their difficult lessons, instead of taking lessons like what their father helped them before.
Mm-hmm.
These acts can help a lot, and to be next to them, to support them in time of need, emotionally, and until they pass these circumstances.
Right. The stage of grief that they're in, because it's hard to estimate when that is. It could take a day, it could take a week, could take a year. Most of the time when somebody dies, it takes months and maybe a year or two to get over this. Some people, have a harder time than others. But during that time, especially at the very beginning, when the shock is great, the best thing you could do is, first of all, say, I'm sorry, give them a hug. Then you can say, I'll pray for you. And then you can say, do you want a meal? Can I bring some meals to your house so you don't have to cook? Or can I give you a ride someplace? Or can I help you with something else that you need? Right?
That's right.
Anything else you guys can think of?
I think it's more than the more you connect with them, the more you often talk with them. That's make them easier to forget, just to get relaxed, because the more you talk, the more they express their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also
Yeah.
way that I think.
Yeah, just being there. Just being there and listening to them is very important
Mhm.
if they want it.
If they want it. Yes, so true.
Mhm. So what about something that isn't so serious? Like, I mean, of course, there are serious things like my husband just lost his job 2 weeks ago, and
I'm
he's
sorry.
trying to figure out what to do now, because he was only working for 3 months and he thought it would be a lot longer, but it's a contract position. He could get another contract somewhere else. But it's still hard because he doesn't know what to do. And so we stay home. I work at home most of the time. Sometimes I meet people out at a library or coffee shop or something, or Barnes and Noble bookstore. But a lot of times I do tutoring online. So I'm upstairs and he's downstairs. And today he's working on my car. Tonight he's playing music. You have to find other activities to fill up your day when you have a loss of a job. And of course, looking for another job, that's a tough thing. But you have to move forward with life. And so any act of kindness that you can give someone during a tough time like this is a wonderful thing,
Just try to make their life much easier. It's better.
Yeah,
I always say, like, kind words is more than enough for anything else. If it's just a good words, simply make them feel happy. That's more than enough.
right. And sometimes, like my husband, he's a little angry. He's a little bit upset. And so you have to listen to these words and not get upset with him, and not just say again, oh, life will go on, no big deal,
Yes.
because that takes away his feelings. It
Yes.
makes him
You will
feel
get
like
it
you're
right.
not understanding what he's going through. So we have to say, okay, things will get better day by day by day. Every time we take action and do something that's going to help us in the future, that's going to take that hurt away more and more. So we have to figure that out. And it's different for every person again. But I think it's really good to understand where somebody is and help them where they need it. Anything else you guys can think of?
Of course,
Yes.
finding
To lose a job. Go ahead.
Terry, go ahead.
I'm saying, of course, finding a new job, let them help with the finding new job, sending different CVs from him, CVs different places. that also make him help. So that is another way to doing kindness, because the faster he get the job, the faster he start moving his life.
Exactly. Yeah. He is working with a company that's helping him get an interview with someone else. So while we're waiting for that, then we have to say, okay, what else is out there? And he has to look every day to see if there's other jobs that are for him. But that only takes, less than an hour a day. So then what do you do with the rest of the day? So that is the tough part. So Tariq, what is it that you do? Where do you live?
Well, I'm born in Pakistan and I live in Turkey, Istanbul,
Okay.
and I'm a website developer, front-end UI developer. So I do
Okay.
website designing, web development. That's
That's
my
great.
profession.
Yes, yes. Your English is okay. I mean,
It's
I can
okay.
understand you, you can understand me. I don't have any specific things that I would tell you to work on. Just, just continue to talk. It doesn't have to be perfect, never does. So you don't have to worry about any particular, oh, I'm not saying this particular word right. Well, then go ahead, do your best and keep going. That's what I say.
Yeah,
So,
actually, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
no, how long have you been speaking English?
Well, from Pakistan, we start speaking English from the children's. Like we have a not we have to go to high school from
Yeah,
in middle school, like at grade 5, we start speaking English.
right,
But usually it's not very clear. What I'm trying to practice here, because I want to take a IELTS exam for the Canadian immigration program. That's why
right.
I want to know my English is up to the mark or not to get enough scores. And when I heard there's a lady with American accent, so I thought, why not? I would try to talk with her and get my English better and know where is my English is actually.
Yeah, well, you're doing pretty well.
Thank you.
And, so if there's particular things you need help with for your exam, you can always go to WhatsApp to the Learning Living Peace Now group and ask me, or I also have other places you can connect with me. So
Sure,
we
sure.
can talk if you need anything.
I love to, because I'm actually practicing my IELTS exams, and soon I will be making 3 month or 2 month, because there is so much work also here.
Yeah,
Like I just moved in Turkey, so I have job also, working with job and working with freelancing, and then I'm doing IELTS also. So it's
right.
3 things are working in simultaneously.
Good for you. Good for you. That's the way to do it. So
Just that I don't have enough time to get party. No
I
parties
know.
done.
That's the
Sure.
hard part. I mean, and you have to decide what is priority. You have to say, okay, what can I do to improve while I'm busy? And my suggestions for busy people are find a way to listen to the exam questions, like while you're riding in a bus or a train, or maybe in the morning when you're getting up, you listen to the questions while you're getting ready. Maybe before you go to bed, because very, very, the last thing that you think of before you go to bed is what you will dream about.
Really?
Yeah. So if you listen to English questions, answers, anything like that, whatever you need to listen to for your test before you go to bed, and your brain will start thinking about that while you're sleeping. So it is a great way if you have some kind of English training that you do, or if you have other things that you're thinking about, to listen to those before you go to bed, and you will start thinking about those things as you're sleeping.
I'm going to try by tonight.
I think you should
Definitely.
see how it works. Tell me.
Sure. I will let you know. Definitely.
So Abu, how do you study when you study? How do you do it?
When I study. What was the question? Please,
The
can you please
question
repeat it?
was, how do you fit studying in when you are a busy person?
Yes, it can be sometimes difficult, but I try to manage it. So most of the of my time I try to learn, and with that, I try also to work with children. I have students in here, and I try to manage it with the study and the working. It is sometimes difficult to be how can I say it, to be really in this thing, but you are the one who know how you can manage it.
Yeah. Well, what I said to Tariq, and this is where we'll wrap up today, is I said that we will, the things that you can do are listen to English studies or questions, whatever you need to, on the train or on the bus or anytime when you're traveling, you're not driving, or even when you are driving. You can put a CD or a tape or whatever in the car and listen. And then at night, when you're doing your dishes or you're cleaning up or you're just relaxing, or even before you go to bed, you can listen to these things, even if it's 10 or
Yes.
15 minutes. And then the last thing that you listen to before you go to bed will be the thing that you dream about.
Yes, I do that most of the time before I go to bed. I play
Okay.
a video in English, and I listen it, and it really helps.
Good, good. I'm glad to
Yeah.
hear that.
Yes.
So, Asma, any final words before we go?
No, if I had, if I were busy, I would get up early in the morning to study just an hour before I go to work, and at the weekend I can allocate special time to practice English by listening to podcasts or listening to previous videos that help us to speak well.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. There's different people that I like to listen to. Hadar Shamesh is really good at speaking English, even though she's not a native speaker. There's a few Americans that I like to work with. If you guys want to join me on Laurel's Learning Lab at YouTube, I have a lot of resources there, and a Laurel's Learning Lab on Facebook. So that's where, here, I'll just put the Facebook one here, because it's easier. This is my group. So if you want to join my group, this is it right here.
Joining.
Yeah, see if you can join. If you need to copy and paste it, you probably,
Yes, it's already there.
so make sure you have it, Tariq.
Yes. I did join your group, Laurel Learning Lab group.
Did you find it?
Yes, I already
Wonderful.
joined you.
Perfect. All right, well then talk to me more there and ask me any questions you need to. I also have a chat group, some chat groups if you need them.